Can you say something real quick?
Hello.
Okay,
Test.
it's working.
You guys were testing some strats on Lamplay the other day, right?
Testing stats, yeah.
Were they specific strats for this rotation?
Some of them not specifically this rotation, but they work on this rotation. This one is specific for this one.
Yeah, I saw it.
So in a team setting, you probably just need to roll it twice. I tried rolling on the basket, by the way. It's very precise. And I couldn't get it.
So it's only recommended on the basket wall and on the entrance walls?
Yeah. Not on basket itself. Oh, why'd I do that? Okay. Ooh. There. So we found out that you have to hit the griller from behind every time in order to actually get the splashdown damage.
So it doesn't work on the right, on the any of the sides.
Yeah, look at this clip.
I wonder why. Is the griller a wall of ink acting as a shield?
The griller wall? No, look. The splashdown actually, like, the radius touches the wall first before the tail in this one. And this one was a successful splashdown. Oh, wait. There. It even touches, like, almost the lid before it touches the tail. You mean... Is rolling the Dynamo on the griller on the wall the same for all three sides? Well... They're all walls, so yeah. That sounded kinda snarky. I mean, if you can roll it on one wall, then it works on all walls. So, you know how sometimes we splash down the griller when it's coming up in game? Like on yard? And sometimes we're like, why didn't that work? But this is why. It's because we weren't directly behind the griller. Even though we can see the griller tail and shoot it normally, the splashdown won't work on it.
Yeah. It's so weird how the hitbox works.
So here's the stun timing for each door for each direction. So bottom left, left. You splash down as it's turning the corner. For middle dock, you splash down when the griller, the front of the
Something
griller,
gosh.
is at the center of the gusher. Now, the right dock griller, you splash down at the end of its turn. It just stopped turning and now you splash down. However, there is something to keep in mind. And it's this turn right here. If you splash down here and the griller makes this turn, then your splashdown will not work, because the tail will be facing this way. Actually, wait. In our testing, I splashed down here, the griller was here, as it was in mid-turn, and my splashdown did not work. So it's recommended that you splash down on this side.
The window.
Yeah,
Side.
because then the tail will be facing you no matter what. So let's look at the other directions. Now from middle. So you wanna splash down mid-turn. From right. There's a little turn there. It could have been hard to see, but there is. You wanna splash down at the start of the turn. Right here, in line with this gusher, actually, the middle of this gusher. So once the griller, the middle of the griller reaches the middle of this gusher, you wanna splash down. In this clip, I'm a little late. Okay, wait, let's look at that again, actually. You can see that it does pause for like half a second, because the turn isn't that big. Not like the other turns that are 90-degree angles.
Yeah.
So maybe a
Also,
better timing. Yeah?
Those kind of little turns are probably the reason why the griller spawning time was so inconsistent in grounds. Because even if they are underwater, the bot grillers might have spawned from different points. And might have done a churn underwater, and that's why it took. For example, one griller takes 1 second, and another griller takes up to 3 seconds after you hear the griller sound in the water. I'm talking about high tide grillers in grounds, the fast spawns.
Yeah, but when we talked about the... it was the sound, not the aggro, right? You didn't see
Yeah, the sound.
just the sound. So maybe it's the sound that's inconsistent and not the turn itself.
Yeah, that might be the reason too.
So right side. Okay, let's just say you want to splash down. It's the same as the middle dock. You want to splash down when the front of the griller is in line with the middle of this gusher. How does that sound?
Yeah. So basically, when the griller is not coming from a straightish path, you wait for mid to late churn to splash down. And when the griller is coming from a straighter path, you use the gusher as reference for your splashdown.
Yeah, on the right side, it will always turn regardless if it's from this spot or these spots. There's that little turn there.
Yeah, that's what I said. Straightish, not quite straight, but
Straight or small turn.
yeah,
I still count this as a big turn.
it is.
So from any of the two middle docks, it's a straight. And from right, it's straightish. From the grates, it'll always have a turn. This one, I think, we can still use the same timing for this one, even though the turn is half of it. So, let's move on. Oh yeah. This one, I'm sure some people already knew, but this is just a better video for it. So it's better to hover against the griller to get extra DPS from the exhaust, because the exhaust also damages the griller. And also you can see in the exhaust clip, I'm slightly pushing the griller toward basket. But you also don't need to push the griller, you can just hover against it without moving toward it. If you don't want to move it away from basket, like if you're at a bad angle, but you still want to use the exhaust DPS, then you don't need to push the griller, you just need to hover against it. So like with the splashdown angle on grillers, we also tested the bomb angle. So all of these grillers have been damaged enough for them to need lethal damage from the bomb. So if the griller gets stunned with a bomb in these clips, then that means it directed the griller. The first few clips are failures, and then these are successes. And then these are some anomalies. Like you can see, I hit the bottom of that griller despite it being low. And in this clip, I didn't actually hit the griller with the bomb despite it being stunned. So let's look at this frame by frame. Let's change the quality actually. I guess that's the highest quality. So look. The bomb exploded in between the tails. And the only power egg I got was from the small fry, not the griller itself. So it's possible to miss bombs while using bomb rush on stunned grillers, but I don't think there's a way around it. It's not like you can really time it well to be in line with the tails. That's just unreasonable. So don't worry about missing bombs with bomb rush. When it's stunned, just keep spamming bombs, because it still handles the small fries. Now let's look at the unsuccessful attempts. This one. Now, look, you can see that it's not actually under the griller tail when it exploded. So that's why it was unsuccessful. This one is the same story, not under the tail. That one clearly under the tail. That one. A part of it was like... So, although it doesn't look like it visually, the hitboxes are kind of bigger. So part of the bomb was under the tail. Actually, these might be just pixel perfect, maybe. just under the tail hitbox, while the unsuccessful ones were a pixel off. But the general rule of thumb is to throw the bomb under the griller tail. So here's a strat for bomb rush. So what we usually do with bomb rush on grillers is that we kind of just throw bombs from where we are, and we move closer to the griller, right, while we're throwing bombs.
Yeah.
But it might be better to do this. You move the bomb rush behind to where the griller came from to catch the trailing small fry. So do it like this. You can see I'm like more toward behind the griller where the small fry are coming from. And this image is perfectly suited for that. Look at this. From the front, it catches like only the new small fry and the small fry and some of the small fry that are catching up. But here, if you bomb from behind, then you still catch the new small fry and more small fry from behind. So you see what I'm saying, right? Oh. I missed a tweet. Wait. Let me get it. So you're supposed to be able to do it with Splash, with Inkjet as well. What happened to the tweet? Oh, here it is. No, it's not. Oh, I don't have a video for it. That's why. I just have a photo. Here it is. So you can see the blast also does it with Inkjet. Also keep in mind that if you're hovering toward the griller, you're still pushing it if you're pushing against it.
Yeah.
Now let's look at snatcher optimizations. There's snatcher optimizations in every tide. So we don't normally do normal tide snatcher optimizations in the house, but I think we should be doing it more often.
Yeah, the one from the middle. Oh, I didn't know that one.
As long as it's in front of the basket, it'll do the optimization. I don't know why I didn't kill the snatcher in these clips. I just let it walk away. Probably would have been a better example to kill them right by basket.
I didn't know that snatcher came from the basket. It would be nice then if we are trying to lure stuff on the left.
Yeah, just let the snatchers walk toward basket.
Sounds very useful for Princess as well.
Yeah. It doesn't work on high tide though. The snatchers just go to the water at the front in high tide. Or wherever is closest. This is the entire area you can use the optimization. I do think letting snatchers up here, although unlikely that we get eggs up there, bringing them toward here is faster. So that was normal tide. There's another normal tide one. It's this one. The back fly fish. When it dies, the snatcher will go that way.
Oh yeah, that's a very easy snatcher to kill.
Yeah, you can do this with any weapon. You don't need a weapon that shoots through the water. Here's more clips of that. Here's a more practical one. You grab an egg as the snatcher is leaving with another egg. And then here's another one, a different use. So you can see that snatcher is escaping that way. Not sure why nobody killed it. And then you can save it back here. So if any snatchers flee from the house from that direction, you can get the egg back.
I see. Well,
As long as it's here.
More reasons to learn from the left.
And then if it happens to get the eggs from here, you can still do it from here. The snatcher will go in the water here and you kill it there. And then here's high tide. It's the same snatcher, but in high tide it's slightly different. So because the water is higher, you cannot shoot the snatcher with normal weapons. You need only certain weapons like the blaster, which on the Dynamo tuition there's gonna be a rapid blaster. With rapid blaster, you're gonna need to shoot the snatcher with an indirect blast once, and then shoot it again with an indirect in the water. And the eggs will warp up here. You can actually use a special like splashdown ray jet, or maybe just spam bombs on the edge with bomb rush. You can even pre-damage the snatcher enough to kill it with a bomb indirect. You can just throw a single bomb on the edge and it'll kill the snatcher if you have good timing. Now, here's optimizations on low tide that we haven't really done before, that I want us to do more often. It's basically every egg in this square will go toward basket. You can see that snatcher goes. This snatcher is gonna go there. And this snatcher is gonna go there.
In front of basket?
Yeah. All of these eggs in this box. It'll go in front of basket. The snatcher will take it there. Just remember that if it's on this ramp, it won't work. It has to be in that flat area. See? But once it's here, the snatcher will bring it this way. It also goes up above a little, like, maybe not. No, never mind. It doesn't do it there. So, for example, let's look at a practical scenario. Drizzler eggs are... Okay, we killed an eel here. There's a steelhead coming this way. We have to stand back. There's already a snatcher about to take all 3 eggs. But we still have to lure the steelhead, so it's not like we can collect these. Okay, maybe a better example would be a steelhead coming from here, because then we'd have to be like back here. So a steelhead is coming. Snatcher is about to get the eggs. Usually we just kill the snatcher and the eggs will stay there. But we still have to lure the steelhead anyway, so we can't get those eggs right now. So we end up waiting and not doing anything. So instead, we let the snatcher take the eggs here, and we kill the snatcher there. And we end up luring the steelhead. So host can quickly deposit these eggs while the other 3 players, or 2 players, however many, can get the steelhead eggs that are over here. Understood?
Yeah. Again, it seems very useful for Princess.
Yeah, but also still useful in overfishing. So, here's a question that has been wondered for a while. So, when exactly can you begin luring a steelhead after it attacks? So you have to be higher than it before the bomb explodes. So let's look at the clip. Now look at the side-by-side slow-mo. On the right side, it's like just the perfect frame to do it. On the right side, I inkjetted and I was above the steelhead, like frames before the bomb exploded. But on the left side, I was actually a few frames too late. And I ended up triggering the steelhead.
Yeah, the attack cycle enters its attacking phase a few frames before the steelhead visibly attacks. You
Yeah,
can see it on uh, normal games too, that you stand in front of the steelhead and the steelhead will stop for a moment before attacking. That doesn't mean that the attack cycle hasn't started. It just means that it takes a while for the steelhead to start attacking after it enters its attack cycle.
and also, you may like ask, why did I start the comparison here when the steelheads are off sync when they throw the bomb? But that doesn't matter when they throw the bomb, it matters when the bomb explodes. Like there are cases where the steelhead would throw a bomb and the bomb is stuck on something and won't explode, and the steelhead is just standing there and won't attack for a while until the bomb explodes. So the steelhead can only attack once the bomb explodes or disappears in water. And also, this clip doesn't mean that you should start inkjet right before the bomb explodes. You have to be above the steelhead before the bomb explodes. And doesn't always inkjet doesn't make you immediately go above. There's still like half a second that you have to spend getting to that height. Especially if you're jetting above basket, you need time to get the height that you need to lure the steelhead. So instead of jetting right before the bomb explodes, maybe it'll be better to jet midway of the bomb exploding. That's a better time to do it. Or maybe even earlier, depending on your situation. Just know that if you're at a high height and the steelhead still attacks, it's probably because you got to the height too late. Or maybe it's lag. I'm not sure how lag interacts with the bomb exploding, like the timing.
I think it affects because you can see it often on online play how people kill the steelhead, and in some players' screen the bomb is able to be
No,
launched,
I don't
but
mean that. I mean, if... I mean the timing when you need to be above the steelhead in order to start luring it. I don't know if the lag affects that.
Yeah, what I try to say with the bomb is that sometimes the bomb might be a few frames desynced in some other player's screen, so that can be affected if you want to use inkjet using the bomb as a timer to see when to use it.
Like maybe if you're laggier, the steelhead will take longer to notice that you were high enough to lure it.
Yeah.
S-
Yeah, something like that was I was trying to say that.
So if you have a laggier connection, then you should pay attention to the lure timing if you're luring a steelhead. If it happens to attack, even though you're at a high enough height and you know that it should have worked, then consider doing it sooner. Get to a high height sooner to make up for the lag.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, we also tested this. So I'm above basket, the other player is behind basket, but the steelheads still trigger early. It's because of this right here. So steelhead aggro also takes into consideration the height. It's like a sphere around the steelhead. The first player to enter the sphere will aggro the steelhead, even though the jet is in front of it and closer to the steelhead, like in a horizontal distance, but not vertically. This picture is easy to tell what I'm talking about. So on Outpost is more applicable because the basket has that little box underneath it and it's way higher. So if you're behind the basket as someone is inkjet luring, then make sure you consider that. Don't stay behind basket too long, or else, like right up against the basket, don't do that too long, or else the steelhead will trigger early. Okay, we went through all the clips, but there's one last one I wanted to show. Let me get it real quick. Did I upload it to Twitter? Yeah, I did. I have it here. So here it is. You can lure the steelheads using this ramp and inkjetting. You don't need to be above basket. So you need to inkjet when they're at that corner turn. Or else you'll be too late and they'll attack. That's all the clips I have for now. No one submitted a VOD to review, by the way, for us to look at. So I'm just gonna try and search for one. Maybe I have one.
You mean like the whole issues that you would see from your own gameplay and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, you can choose any of mine because I make a lot of mistakes. I think those would be easier to point out.
Do you have a Dynamo rotation?
I guess that's the Dynamo Polaris one. But I never name my titles with Dynamo
Yeah.
and stuff. Might be one more scroll since it was a recent rotation. Or maybe I never made it public.
Pretty sure it's unlisted, right?
Yeah, it's probably unlisted.
There's gotta be a previous Dynamo rotation here. Here it is.
Yeah, grounds.
Maybe this one would be more accurate. So I'll try to look at the... Wait, what are the weapons again? None of these we have. I'd say this is decent. There's nothing like bad so far. Nothing to point out.
Yeah.
Well, that's called jinx right there. Okay, so what happened here? Okay, EO, you wanna roll it? Because Dynamo's good at that, but... I'd say you were damaged enough to know, like, oh, next fly fish indirect is gonna kill me, I should move away. You also had ink under you, so you could swim normally. You don't need to roll. Getting used to the damage values and knowing, like, can you survive this or that is important.
But what if you just died someone else's missiles?
So there's something both players can do about that. So the other player shouldn't be dragging their missiles across other players in the first place. And you should know that the other player is doing it in the first place. So you should be like, oh, this player is coming this way with missiles, I should not stand here.
Because I think in the last grounds rotation, there was a game where I died to missiles. They could have been my own too, but it's just one of those things where, like, it's hard to
On high tide especially.
dodge. Because you have to turn your camera to see it.
Yeah, I do recommend turning your camera to see different things often instead of just keeping it fixed in one location. This isn't Dynamo. Seeking sucks. Yeah, this is fine too. Cast Blaster is not exactly that strong.
I tried to find clips of my gameplay, but I recently deleted
No, it's fine.
1,000 clips from my Switch. So I don't have
You
much.
know that meme, like, wow, what made you that strong? I delete 1,000 clips. For each clip I delete, I do 1 push-up.
I mostly clips the scenes and stuff because they are funny to me.
Yeah, the funny clips are more enticing.
Yeah, but I definitely should try saving more clips where I died to something.
Or you do something right. Or, like, extraordinary, I would say.
No, but what I mean is that of all the possible clipping moments, I decide only to clip the missing ones.
You just have like 5 years of these things saved up.
Yes. But they are gone now anyway.
Oop, oop.
Playing too risky.
Okay.
And risk paid off. I could have died. Or I don't know.
Yep, sploos. Let's see what
Whatever
happens.
came up there. Oh, but I went sicko mode.
You either get sick or go sicko mode. That's 3 steelheads. I'd stand back at this point.
Oh yeah, now I remember something. I usually die while using Dynamo or going for far X, and there's a steelhead there. Is steelhead bombs, because I'm a very slow weapon, so the steelhead bombs usually kill me on the great side of the Lost Outpost map when it's not redirected into a less dangerous location by the first player that got there. So I'm probably just very reckless when I use Dynamo or other heavy weapons when I go to the great side, but it's usually the steelhead bombs that kill me.
I wouldn't
someone
say
tried to kill me.
steelhead bombs are that threatening.
Something I remember. I probably died to way more than that, but not seeing those steelheads there made me remember that. It's one of the reasons I die a lot as Dynamo or slow weapons in general.
So here's a rule of thumb I usually use when there's steelheads and I'm a slow weapon that can't really move. If there's a single steelhead, it's pretty easy to avoid it, but if there's 2 steelheads, it depends on when they attack both individually. If they both attack at the same time, it's pretty much the same as one steelhead. The bombs are in the same place. Unless of course the steelheads are aggroed on different people, and the different people are in different places, then that's a different matter. Because the bombs will then cover a wider area. But if both bombs are in the same area, it's pretty safe. But if the steelheads are attacking at different times, like after one has thrown its bomb, the other one starts to throw its bomb, then that can be dangerous because instead of covering a wide area, the steelheads now instead cover a constant area, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's what's most threatening.
Yeah, but when I usually go for far X on the great side in Lost Outpost, I'm usually already damaged because there's always a fly fish indirectly hitting me while I'm going there as Dynamo, and since I cannot swim in the grades, returning back to basket and there's a steelhead bomb about to be exploding, it's when I usually die.
So I feel like here, it's not that reliable to make the Dynamo kill the Drizzler in that position. So instead, like going forward ahead to kill the Cohawks so that someone can grab this last egg over here would have been better, because no one went for it because the Cohawks weren't killed. Dynamo will be really good for handling the final lessers that are blocking eggs.
Yeah.
Especially on low tide on the grades. On Outpost.
Wait, there's grates in low tide? Oh yeah, now I remember where. I was thinking of the right side. There's only wood there.
The sand texture on yard doesn't make me think it's sand. It makes me think it's just solid ground, like pavement.
Yeah.
Here, two people throw bombs. Yeah, good. Could you have backed up enough to lure that drizzler? I mean, this is grounds, but studying. No, it would have stopped anyway.
Oh, it's just going on. I can see if there's a Dynamo in the yard I have.
Oh, by the way, you can only like insta-kill drizzlers when they're landing with Dynamo when it's been weakened with like at least 200 damage, I'd say. Which is a horizontal flick from a Dynamo. Can't roll the drizzler from that angle. Unless you get like pushed into it. I didn't need to do this.
Let's see.
It's not gonna attack by the next time. Harder. Where's all the deaths are?
Oh no. Maybe I played that one well, I guess.
You
You got
should
the Dre one, I probably died a lot in that one.
you should look for a high tide. Those are usually more deadly.
Oh,
There's a death.
did you like let go of your shot as you press the swim button and it cancelled the charge?
Possibly.
That sometimes happens. If it happens often to you, it could be good to confirm, like, visually, did you actually shoot before starting to swim? Oh. Yeah, you didn't expect that eel to turn.
No.
Okay, so... right here. Oh, it's turning. What now? Oh, what now? So you cannot go this way for sure. So you have to know, like, you have to think, what's over here where I can't see? Okay, I chum there, there's a stingray here. So you swim this way, but this wall is painted. So...
Scrapper on the left.
Scrapper on the right and left. Let's go a little back. You don't know who this scrapper is on? This scrapper could drop down here and kill you. This right scrapper is definitely gonna kill you at this distance, I'd say. You have charger, so you can just tap shot this scrapper and tap shot that scrapper and then climb the wall safely. Like do a quick turn to the right, go to the left, tap shot both, and you can climb the wall. And I think you'd be in the clear from that point. That tends to be the mistake from people fleeing scrappers, is they don't tag it and they get hit by it and die.
I think I've died before, even after tagging the scrapper.
From the bad hitboxes.
Probably because that was a slow weapon.
Oh, there's the high tide.
I have sploosh. Wow, how did I do it first?
Okay, wait. I wanna look at that again. If that could have been fixed. The fly fish shot. Let's go a little more back. So you see a fly fish, you're probably thinking, oh, gotta go through a bomb now. What's the positioning like? So right now you're on the left, but then suddenly it changed. I don't know if you would have time to react to that properly. That's quite a quick reaction to need. That was kind of risky. One smack, one quick smack from the chum and you would have been in the water. You could have shot the torpedo there. Just a quick turn and a few bullets from the sploosh.
I need to see it on stream because it's a bit crusty on Discord.
Oh, what's the quality?
I think it's just a Discord thing because it's pretty smooth on your stream.
Yeah, it's just Discord. You can watch the stream.
Yeah.
How's the delay on the stream?
Let's see. I mean, was that 1 second? Here was that like 4? So it's pretty close.
Okay. I wanna see that egg running at the end. So you chose to get that egg that's actually closer than the other ones. And you climb up. I think you're expecting an egg to be left over from up there because that used to happen, where someone would put in like 2 eggs and then leave a single egg up there for some reason.
Yeah, I think I got up there because there's a lot of lessons as well there. So maybe I needed to clear up.
Not with that much time left. Plus you're sploosh, so you don't really need to go that way. You can just shoot them head on. So what could have been done here? So you know that people are up here already getting those eggs. There are eggs here, here, and here. 2 snatchers that can get away or stop other people from getting the egg because it snatched it. You kill both of these, but you should have gone up there. Those eggs are farther. Okay, let's see this. Good rolling. Here I'd say you could horizontal flick fall off damage to pre-damage the grillers. Instead of just waiting until they're at basket to show their tail. Because here you're just doing some raiding and nothing really. If you pre-damaged the first one, maybe you could have done some rolling. It would have been stunned faster. Here we have Class Blaster, so you could have afforded to flick one more time. Horizontal flick, that is, because it's faster.
Oh.
Now you kinda exited the wall early. Let's look at that again. So the Griller had just arrived and you exited the wall, but if you see me clinging, I stay on it for slightly longer and the Griller comes right into the corner. That's what you wanna do instead. Can roll. Okay. Oh. Should open the Lord. Now here's the small thing you could do here. Like, you're a sploosh, you have quite a bit of ink to... Like, sploosh is an ink efficient weapon. Even if you throw a bomb, you can do a lot with sploosh with what you have remaining. So here you could have thrown a bomb right here to kill these 3 chums as you're falling, and still have ink to go kill the stinger.
Yeah.
And while you're swimming back, like, you'd have maybe like 10% of your ink left, but as you're swimming back, you'd be recovering your ink so that you can then throw a bomb into the flyfish as you're heading back. There's a lot of flyfishes. Yeah, see, look at that. You just threw a bomb, and you had enough to kill like 3 coal hawks and a bunch of chum. Oh wow. That bomb was fine. There's still a bit of time left. Okay, so wait a second, I just thought of something. What basket did you bomb? You bombed
it
the
the
right
right?
basket, which is on you. I think in some situations it could be better to bomb the left basket because that's the basket that targets a random player, and that player could be at basket trying to handle things.
Yeah.
So here's the reasoning. You decide to bomb the left basket instead, and as you're heading back, the missiles are on you, and they land behind you as you're heading back. And it doesn't really inconvenience anyone. At most, it paints the ground, but you're heading back to basket, so it's not really affecting you. You can see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless there's someone behind you or something, then it might be better to bomb the left basket so that it doesn't bother someone else who's busy doing something.
Yeah, I probably just threw it because it was like right in my face and I needed to go quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd say, like, ahead of time, with this knowledge, you could then decide to aim for the left basket earlier, and you'd be more prepared to do it which would help with you aiming in it.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, like, thinking ahead of time and being prepared mentally helps you with decisions and doing things more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And also to reiterate, when you're heading back from a far spawn, it's better to have missiles on you then than at basket where multiple people are working and you're stationary. Good bomb. Right there, an alternative thing you could do is just kill the charm. Your sploosh, you're fast enough to kill it.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone said anything on Discord. Oh, nothing. Oh, there is, but it's not related.
Yeah, it's not related.
I'd back up. Oh, I think that was lag. I think on my screen, the white drizzler landed first, but on your screen, the other side landed first.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I debate using inkjet. Yeah, there it is. You can kill that. Oh, never mind, you can't. Oh, you can.
Okay.
Yep, good. Get the farther one. What happened there? Why couldn't the lessers be killed? So Sess goes that way. Minus is the charger, so he can't really do anything about the lessers.
You're really focused all on the jizzler.
No, I had no ink as Dynamo, you can
Oh.
see.
Okay, that was just too bad then. Too bad, as in, that's a shame. What special did I have? Maybe it was Ray. No. Yeah. The eel was just coming too early to load our Drizzler safely. Like, it is possible to do both though. I've done it in a Japanese lobby before. So, Drizzler jumping here, the eel is coming this way. Actually, can we do it with this timing? So ground's normal tide. If we move this way and make the eel go straight while the drizzler jumps here, we can then go around the eel on the side and then kill it together. We'd have to be moving together for it to work.
I think you can also cling on the wall. As long as you're not targeted by the eel.
Yeah, you can cling on the bottom here and then move this way up to avoid the eel body stopping you from climbing. So there's a snatcher on that low tide ramp. It's on its second egg now. Yep, you saw it. Yep, good wave. Just let's jump, gonna jump. Good bomb. I don't know if you would have had time for that torpedo. Pass is kind of slow. Okay, that was good. The ending was good.
Nice.
I think that worked just barely. I expect it's on you. Yeah, it's on you. So here's, like, I think this is how you figured it out as well. That small turn the griller just made to the right, that was an indicator that it's on you.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have killed that snatcher. Now it's gone.
Yeah, I wonder why I didn't kill it. Maybe I was panicking that the eel was gonna get me or something.
Yep. Focus on the eel because you can't reach the steelhead. You... Like, I know you're thinking, oh, gotta bomb the Mars because you have ink. But you're just standing still. Like, you could be moving this way as you're bombing the Mars. Instead of waiting until after you throw the bomb. Yeah, okay. You saw that 2 people were there already, so you moved to the next stage. That's good. It's hard to see that snatcher because of the other snatcher coming out. Oh yeah, something good I thought of that people could think about while playing. If you're alone and you're stalling things, consider, like, if you should actually be there at that moment. Ooh.
See what I did. Oh, yeah. Kamikaze for the egg. It's already gone.
Here. I think, okay, as you're jumping down, you can see that the eel is coming back. And you still have some air time left before you land on the ground. And not to mention, there's a quahawk right there by the eel. So I'd say instead of taking the inner side, take the outer side. Because then maybe there'd be a chance to squid in the eel body and then take the egg through the eel. And then you could go up that ramp safely. So when the eel is curling like that, do not take the inward path because then you can get stuck. Like, the eel current will really make you stuck. Try and take the outer path whenever possible. Good partial charge. Oh. Yeah, that was... You would need a quick reaction time to that. But...
Where did that missile come from?
it's over there. You'll see it in a couple seconds.
I don't see that.
Is there a way to avoid that though, without needing quick reaction?
Maybe hanging out on the right side of that point of view.
Yeah, but you wouldn't really have a way of knowing that that the missile is there though. Cause you couldn't I can't hear it, and usually I can hear missiles that are nearby. Oh.
Well, that was a bunch of nothing then.
Oh yeah, it's wave 3.
Oh my god. I see my death now.
Oh, I would have splashed down there. Boom, splashdown, right there. Kill the lessers, kill the steelhead, kill the scrapper. That could have been low at the basket. What could have you done? What could have you done instead? So here, instead of moving to the left, you move to the right toward the center where it allows the drizzler to jump the basket. So that way you're still moving toward basket, just on an alternate route. How did those bombs miss? What happened? One bomb there. I don't know. It could have been a desync. Maybe on Sess's screen -25 missed the shot, so she bombed the left instead. It's hard to tell with desyncs, like what actually happened. If you have a laggy player on your team, you could probably just, if something weird happens, you can assume like, oh, maybe something weird happened on their screen.
You should always assume that with me. I shared a clip on general showing just what I mean.
You know, let me take a look at the clip real quick. Oh, yeah. Sometimes if there's a scrapper desynced and you see another player collide with it, then the scrapper gets resynced to be accurate on your screen.
The thing is that the scrapper almost fell off the ledge while the eggs went closer to basket.
Huh.
Was very confused. But that happens a lot to me in Marooners Bay. Scrappers sliding a lot.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. So, next course of action, bomb the fly fish and handle the 2 stingers, right? Because you know that eel isn't on you, because you just saw it turn around for minus. Yeah, that was a weird eel turn, I don't know why it's doing that. Wait, is it on minus?
It might be mine because I think I just can see it turn when I jump from basket to grate.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. It just happened to be at the same time minus was climbing up. Look at that. Yeah, because before you were down below here, the eel was going that way, and now it's turning now. Yeah, it's on you. Minus just happened to be over there doing that. So it's just that coincidence. I'd say that was a fine escape then. Yeah, there's no need for you to go up, there's already someone there.
I think I was just trying to not die to the stinger.
Oh, low tide, we haven't seen much of that. I haven't seen much of night waves, actually.
I have timestamps. If there's a good night wave, it should be listed.
Maybe we should look at the bad night waves.
Then that should also be listed. Well, not specifically as bad night wave, or it just says night wave and doesn't specify what we got on it.
One of those two could have... it worked out. They could have bombed the fly fish. No, also, I wanna look back at something. The steelhead. Like, you don't have to be... I think it's better for you to get the eggs at the same time as everyone else. And then move with them. Just in case, like, you don't trigger the steelhead again if you're slow. Slow to leave, I mean. Yeah, Charger should stay at basket. good fall off. That was a good move. Right now, I would be going for the stinger, yeah. So the second was... no, the first one was on you. You could kill the snatchers on your way there. Because you're there, the snatchers are right in front of you, you might as well shoot them. Here, splashdown? No. Good, taking the side route when you have the souls, so that it doesn't block your teammates.
Didn't get to use my splashdowns anywhere. Oh, that was a good save by Minus. I feel like now would be a good time to raid. Because you do end up stalling the still hit a wall. Ah. All the Kohawk spawned here. Here. Okay, you grab an egg, but you get here in this corner. But there's a bunch of stuff here. It'll be hard to break through. You have like no ink. It's gonna take a while to go through these anyway, even if you kill them all. This chum, this Kohawk, already close to dying. You can go, you kill them. Their death paints the floor a little bit. You can swim past them. Go up this ramp back to basket. Maybe you can go this way even as well, go up that wall. You can also alternatively go up this ramp, because there's nothing on there. So go on the path of least resistance.
Yep, checking if your side is the spawn, that's good. You could have vertical flip as it was landing. Yeah, I think you're only gonna be able to get the one bomb off. Oh. Yep, good
Oh,
dodge.
so close to solo. Guess we had too many stews.
Yeah, I would have just killed the snatcher there while you were on the ground. Ooh. Here you didn't really take time to heal. You should have healed.
I probably didn't expect that scrapper to be there.
Oh yeah, you can barely hear it. Though, always check your turns and corners before diving in when you're low on health. It's like when you walk across the street, always check your left and your right.
Yeah.
I'll get it because you don't want to be hit by cars. People call scrappers cars sometimes.
It's just easier to say.
Oh, there's a great strizzler.
Just check the VODA. There's a game with High Tide Rush. I didn't put a number in it, so it's probably bad.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the rush. Oh. Oh! Okay. Ooh. It was, the first jump was a misclick. Jumped too early.
Yeah.
You failed the jump, now what? Now you're up?
Maybe I did jump, but I shot on accident.
So you can see, like, the stinger right now is not only shooting this way, but also painting the wall. So you should expect that you're not gonna make it up. So think about what should you do that's not climbing the wall. And this Cohawk is coming this way. This scrapper might start moving soon. This scrapper is untagged, but it's heading this way right now. It's heading away because you're up here and it's on someone else that's on this side. So what you could do, okay, let's go back a few frames. So the stinger didn't end up painting this wall, but it's good to expect that it will. And also you have the scrapper here with its exhaust hitting the wall. It's not painting the wall, but that hitbox is gonna push you away from the wall and stop you from climbing.
Mm-hmm.
So right here, going here is the next best option. Because the Quahog is right there, you have no time to climb the wall. And let's say, even if the scrapper does return from this scrapper, if it does return to... So once you're down here, you should expect that that scrapper will come toward you. So you should be prepared to shoot it with your glass blaster. And then you can either like paint that wall and then climb it up next, or maybe go for the stinger. Whatever you think is better.
Is Clash Blaster ever able to shoot on the ground like the G Blaster can?
It has the damage is greatly decreased on the ground.
But
So
it will
no.
still be able to like tag the scrappers.
Yeah, it will. All blasters can do that. The damage doesn't matter as long as you hit it. And also, what I said about the stinger earlier, like, okay, once you escape this scenario, then what? So you still have 2 ways. Instead of going physically to handle the stinger, you could ray the stinger instead. And then handle everything else with the stingray. Whatever you can handle. You could handle that fly fish with the stingray after you kill the stinger with it. I feel like everyone could have gone for the fly fish eggs instead. Like, they would have been back with a few seconds remaining and they could have gone for the last ramp eggs.
Game's over and I still had a ray.
Oh, is that all?
Nah, the game's over and I still had a stingray.
Ah. Oh yeah, see your pick.
Alright, this is 126. Ah, the rush is like a few games away. Around 124 is the start of that game.
Okay, we're approaching it somewhat soon. I'd say go for the fly fish, but nobody ended up doing it. Because right now there's nothing else to do. And it's just the start of wave 1. The least dangerous wave. At this point, you would have already made it to basket with the fly fish eggs, if you killed it early.
Yeah.
You should have gone for the fly fish. You had enough ink. And you just revived me, and I probably know the fly fish is there. So you can expect me, who just got revived with a full ink tank, to throw a bomb in the right launcher. And then you can recover some ink to throw in the left launcher.
I'm assuming my thought process was that there's a statue in front of me as well, so I have to shoot that.
Yeah, but
And that
even
gives me,
then, like, it only takes a couple of tap shots, which isn't that much ink, and it isn't that slow. So you could have had time to recover ink to... Ah.
Yeah, that was a minefield.
Well, that's the consequence of ignoring the fly fish.
Perfect. To be continued section.
Okay, here... This is actually not that hard to tell that there will be missiles there beforehand. So what happened here? So you see Sess going up, she has missiles on her. A missile starts here, over there. You can expect, now you can see this, but it's hard to see. But you don't need to see it. You already know that there are 2 missiles here, the next missile will land up here. And there's a scrapper right there. You don't know if it's untagged or not, so you should expect like, okay, there's a scrapper here that's moving, and there are missiles up here. You should probably just stand still and tag the scrapper. And wait for the missiles to land. Remember, fly fishers shoot 4 missiles per launcher. That's 4 missiles per player. In general, you don't want to be following right behind the player with flyfish missiles unless you're like right on top of them as you're moving with them. If you're like 2 charm lengths away from the player with missiles and you're following them, then I advise caution. You didn't grab an egg.
I probably thought I grabbed one. And I saw, oh, I don't have one. What? How did that happen? And I go back and get one.
You can actually see that I did what I was talking about earlier with this drizzler. So like, this drizzler is going to jump. Now, even though you don't know, like you haven't seen it. Okay, actually you did see it shoot beforehand. So you should know that that drizzler is gonna jump. Just for like a split second, you can see me standing there making the drizzler jump to basket. Because you were also there on and was gonna deal with it if no one else was by you. So it did end up jumping to basket. Oof. Yep. That was fine. Yep. This was good, though. Now, here's where you could be a little more efficient. You see the steelhead spawn? It's impossible to bomb the flyfish until it's dead at this point. So you could return back, grab an egg from the eel, put it in basket, and then start moving toward the flyfish with Dynamo. But it's also important to know, like, what's your team doing now? Are they going to be able to come with you for the flyfish? So in this scenario, when the team is handling something else, like in a different area, like going for that flyfish or that flyfish, it would have been better to Either leave the flyfish alone, leave it crippled, because you're not getting its eggs right now, or kill it, but leave the eggs as a full pile of 3 eggs, so that the snatcher takes longer to snatch it. Because you're not going for them right now. You can't complete them right now.
Yeah.
And instead, come back and get the eel eggs. Also, it's wave 3, you have a ray left, so you can save it for, like, last fly fishes and stuff.
I think I did.
The white fly fish, that's a good target. Yep, there it is. That's a good one. Move back, ray the slinger. Yep, that was good. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good ending. It's just like those minor decisions, like whether you should kill a fly fish, go for its egg, is what changes the score in the end.
Yeah.
Because if we do end up going for those fly fish eggs, if you took an egg from it, then it's probably snatched by that point. But if there's 3 eggs, there's still a chance to complete the pile.
Mhm.
And that's a difference of like 2 whole eggs at the end.
That's something I'll keep in mind.
If you can't complete a pile, an egg pile right now, consider like, should I take an egg from it right now? Will it be able to be completed? If it's like a wave with a lot of statics and you know that you're not gonna be able to get every single egg, then it's fine to... It's definitely fine to take an egg from that pile and expect it to be snatched, because there's just not enough time to get all the 4 eggs that are on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's doable at that moment in time, if you think it's possible, then that's something to consider. Whether you should take from that pile that could be completed and make it more likely to get snatched later, while there's still hits that need to be lured. Like, that's the stuff you gotta think about if you wanna get all the eggs. Oh, help minus. Okay, good. Still an egg there.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't see Mice return. So we both got confused and we're like, no, you go first.
In those cases, it's better if both people go. The egg gets gotten in the end. Yep. Oh. Careful of the exhaust, yep. There are still 4 eggs. Good. Good, complete those.
One egg and 3 eggs somewhere else.
It was the 4 fly fish that I wait for.
Ah.
Or minus wait for it, one of us. Oh, nice scrap of piercing with the cannon. Here you can throw a bomb. Yep, good. I don't know why I didn't throw a bomb. It got handled though. I should have thrown a bomb. Or one of us should have. Ooh.
No one.
I feel like you should have just vertical flicked the steel head just in case. I'd roll the Cohawks. And that's enough. Ooh. That was a good precautionary measure. Just in case the eel was on you, you don't want to get sandwiched between it and the Cohawks on the ramp. Good. Save your ink, because you already saw other people throw a bomb. Remember that there's a low tide fly fish. Maybe... no, there's not enough time. Too much time having to get around these things.
Yeah. I was the only one to at that point. That's how some of my deaths happen. Just moving backwards and there's missiles there.
Oh, there's no time for that just there. I don't think I really move backwards that often to avoid something. Maybe I stand still, but that's about it. Because if you think about it, if you're moving backwards, you're moving towards something you don't see faster. But if you're standing still, that thing has to spend more time reaching you. Well, in that case, you had to move. Because of missiles. Oh. The eel hadn't died yet, so I'd... The eel is not dead yet. You should consider, like, oh, maybe the eel will come back and block everything.
No. So yeah, I got pressured off, so I thought maybe the ray would finish it off.
No, not when there's the fly fish there. Like, if you see a fly fish and there's a ray, then you can expect it to shoot the fly fish. Oh. He kinda just stood there and watched that. Yeah, good. Get it with everyone. Good, let the drizzler jump up. I think you should have realized sooner that there's only one egg there. Because earlier, Sess went there, and then I went there. So now there's only one left. And then you see me go there, and Minus go there, and that's more than enough.
Yeah.
You could have rolled the malls once. And killed it at basket with the roll.
How much ink did I have? I think I was empty there.
Well, you had enough ink to throw a bomb.
Ah, I see.
Oh. Probably would have been better for Minus to not kill the fly fish so that it could have come closer. And he could have focused some of these eggs here while the fly fish came closer. I feel like as Dynamo you should be watching out the drizzlers if there are some at basket. Like right there, it could have been one more egg put in if this drizzler was killed earlier. Let's see though. Before the drizzler jumped, what could you see? This drizzler here just fired. This drizzler here just landed, so that drizzler's not jumping. But this drizzler had already fired before and it just fired again. So you should be like up here ready to flick it once and then insta-kill it upon landing.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't see it.
That could be because you're always like focused on this side of the screen. You gotta widen your vision. Not tunnel vision. So wait a second. Okay, here's a slight thing you could have done. So after killing the steelhead, aim up, shoot the torpedo, move slightly more to the right this way so the chum doesn't hit you, and then shoot the chum to death. You had time to do all of that.
Yeah, poaching up is just uncomfortable, but I can try doing that.
Doing more things, more small things in a small period of time. Instead of just focusing on one big thing. So right there.
I don't know why I was hesitating.
Yeah. That was a desync. Must have been slightly farther away on someone else's screen. So it took longer to attack. So you see a bomb that had just been thrown there. You should be going up and already preparing to charge as that steelhead is attacking.
Yeah, I was just very slow on that wave.
That's a good thing to do, by the way. You stand to the side of the stinger if you're in the front, so that if there's a Mars that spawns, it's not on the eggs, and your team can collect the eggs immediately without having to wait for the Mars to disappear. Or like move off of the eggs, I mean. You don't want the Mars to be like in the way of your teammates getting to the fire eggs either. All the eggs have been gotten, you don't need to check. What are the clues that tell you you don't need to check? You saw one person drop down there, but that was really quick. So you see me climbing up with one of those eggs. Okay, so it is actually possible to tell. So let's see that again. Oh yeah, actually that wasn't me that dropped on the first time. Charger got an egg. And then Class Blaster got an egg. And now you see me drop down. Class Blaster got an egg again. I mean, that's a really small way to see who got eggs. And sometimes you don't know which weapon belongs to who, but that is still a way to tell. It's, well, not a small way, but it's an obscure way. Actually, no, the simplest way to know is that someone dropped down next to you the first time to get an egg, and then you saw me climbing to get an egg. That's already 2 eggs, and then you see me drop down for the final egg. You're like... Just don't get directed and you would have lived. Be more on the edge. It's too late for the fly fish. That's gonna be a pain. Actually, could you have gone with Sess? The Kohawk was annoying, I wouldn't say so. Maybe it wasn't on Sess's screen because he just went right through it. I think it was fine to stay back and wait until everything had passed. I'll go for the flags. Oh. Yeah. I don't think I need to mention that. There was a snatcher there already in front of the Mars, so you should have expected that it will bounce off the snatcher. Now, actually, here's what you could have done. Aim high, not low.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been
Aim up
doing
here.
lately.
There's not enough time. At that point, I would just go back to basket and secure the basket eggs. But then again, I'm there, and I'm host. But if the host isn't there, then you should go back and secure it. Okay, right there. This is a mistake that is pretty common. So, Booyah, the first thing people do is look around to see where the drizzler is. But by that point, like, it tends to be too late. You already stopped the drizzler because you're spending time looking around. Here, when you hear the Booyah, go straight toward where whoever's booyahing, because they know where the drizzler is. So they are moving to the safe place that doesn't deal with the drizzler. You could say it's blindly following someone, but sometimes that's needed in order to do well.
Yeah.
Like, how can you learn from blindly following someone? Well, in this case, let's say this is you who's spending time looking around. So if you did blindly follow that person, then you would be like, oh, how did I not see the drizzler? And then you could deduce, like, you could come with the answer, oh, I should have been looking that way. I shouldn't be focusing on one direction too much. So, blindly following someone isn't always bad, because as long as you analyze it afterwards, like, what can you do better to not need to blindly follow someone? That's what you can do to become better.
Yeah.
But it still happens in high-level overfishing because there's just so much that needs to be... there's so much going on anyway. And besides, it's your teammate giving you information. You should just... I don't know how to describe it. You're respecting that they're giving information by trusting in them, by following them. Like, you're closing your eyes and you're trusting your teammate, basically. That's how I'd describe it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oof, yep. Okay. Oh, this is troublesome. Yep, barely scraped by. You know what, that was good actually.
Oh, super risky.
Yeah, but for a good player, it's not really that risky. Because good players would know that they can just swim out of the Mars at the last second and they'd be used to doing it. Or not used to doing it, but they already know the timing. Like, swimming out of Mars isn't actually that difficult as it looks. As long as the ground is painted in your own color. If there's green ink, then you can kind of just say goodbye to yourself. That green ink is gonna slow you down too much.
Yeah. Surprised the timestamp stuff doesn't work on the video.
Oh yeah, there's no chapters. Is it because you put 00 instead of 0 this thing 00? Because I always put 0 the marker at 00. You wanna try that out now? I can refresh the page once you've edited it.
I can quickly check.
Make it 10 at the beginning.
Oh wait, I have the tab open already. Alright, I saved. I can quickly check as well. It's not updated on my end either.
Okay, it's updated on mine,
Oh.
but it doesn't show chapters.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know
there's
what's up
too
with
much.
that. Guess I'll have to Google that. It used to work. I don't know why it doesn't work now.
Maybe it has to be like the first thing you put in the description. It cannot be anything else. Not bad cannons. There was that Drizzler that was killed early that could have jumped the basket though. I think I wasn't paying attention that much. Go for the fly fish. You saw someone back up, so you know they have the eel. Oop. Drizzler just jumped, you can see the shadow. And now I'd prioritize the great eggs, because they'd be a pain to get later. By the way, a good way to tell if someone is gonna bomb a flyfish is if they're standing still by a flyfish. Because they're probably recovering ink or waiting for the flyfish to open the launcher. Yep, good waiting. If you rushed, you may have been knocked down into the water by the eel hitbox. Oh, careful.
Gotta kill that eel though, so it's worth the risk.
I'm reacting as if this is a live game. Once again, you didn't need to bomb that. It's too late for it to matter. You weren't getting that many dynamos. Maybe what would be better is watching Lost Outpost footage instead of Dynamo specific footage.
Yeah, I
This
couldn't
is-
find a Dynamo Outpost. What I have.
This has still been helpful though, I'd say. Well, I'm not the one being helped, but I suspect that it's helpful.
Yeah. I don't really post my stuff for VOD reviews, usually because sometimes I don't really take criticism well, but I've been getting better at that. And by that I mean like criticism in any way. I didn't like people peer reviewing your paper for English class or something like that.
Peer reviewing?
Yeah.
Like, what would they do? I forget how school works.
I mean, the whole concept of like having someone else look over your stuff and criticize your work, but I'm getting better at, just
Oh, I see.
accepting feedback.
Because after all, you only know what you know. Other people might know something else than you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure artists face that struggle all the time. And then you have some people who are going like, oh, art is subjective, I don't need your advice. And then they never improve.
Yeah.
It's the same with anything, really. Any craft, any profession. If someone... Yeah, different perspectives are better to listen to. Because you don't want to stay in a bubble the entire time. And just not learn anything different or new. That's called stagnation. You're gonna stagnate. While everyone else is getting better.
Yeah. That's something I had to learn.
Oh yeah, also something I want to mention. Whoever stays at basket when they have an... Actually, no, that's not the right way to put it. Like, if there's an eel coming, it doesn't matter who stays at basket. Like, in this scenario at least, because there's not much else to handle.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, there's just the eel coming. It doesn't matter who stays at basket, because I'd say anyone can handle this eel that's coming. Even if it's going this way, they can still kill it at basket here. It's the same, regardless if you have the aggro or not. In some cases, having the aggro might make it more difficult to handle that basket. Yeah, you already triggered it, might as well go all out. Though in that case, like, you can see the fly fish there, And you still have time to recover some ink to throw. I would have recovered ink to throw it in the fly fish instead of shooting the steelhead. I mean, not shoot the steelhead, but like... You could have thrown a bomb in and still not get knocked in by the water, by the chomp. You had to be quick though. Oof. Oh, watch out.
Maybe I should try out playing Salmon Run in like colorblind mode because it's even easier to see the missiles.
Oh, really? Is it difficult for you to see missiles on the ground?
I mean, there's a lot going on, so usually it just blends.
Oh.
And colorblind mode, I think they come out in like a dark color, and everything else is white, like your own color. So that makes it really easy. It's just that's very ugly to watch.
I may have a solution to that if you have a hard time seeing missiles. Maybe up the contrast setting on your monitor. Maybe that'll make the missile markers darker.
Probably one of the few people that actually plays it on the TV.
Well, it is still the same settings on TV.
Yeah, I guess. But I have it like set to game mode, I think, or something like that.
You can make your
That
own
can be
custom
something.
mode.
What was that, Sess?
You can make your own custom mode.
Yeah, with their own custom settings.
Yeah, I guess that's something I can fiddle around with.
Right now, you should be wary of the steelheads at basket. Yep. Good. Is that Drizzly jumping though? Good, you waited. Oop. Kinda jumped off.
Why did I fall? Yeah, why did I do that?
You went for the egg, I think. Or you just had a misclick.
Oh, those were not full power.
Oh.
No, nice desync.
Oh. Okay. Oh, is this it? Yeah.
Well, it was definitely sub 60 because I usually put whatever score we get if it's above 60.
Okay, I feel like fleeing that way is not good. When the aggro is about to change, everyone should be backing up towards the top of basket ramp. So that when they're coming from both sides, the rush is filtered into one channel. You don't get pincered that way. You don't have to be rolling right now, there's filtering going on. You could have recovered ink while the way was going. Oh! Ah. There's like no specials left. We have Class Blaster, so you shouldn't be doing like the primary filtering anyway, just the Goldie filtering.
Yeah, but deaths are still happening probably due to these things.
Yeah, people are dying behind the Dynamo. So that means some lessers are going through it on someone's screen.
Class Blaster and Spruce is a good combo. I feel like most top level players, once they notice that, oh, they didn't kill the spruce, they would flick and kill the spruce with a single shot. That's just something I notice from other players. Here it didn't really matter, but that's just something they do. Like, they finish the chum off so that they don't have to deal with it later. I should have gotten the farther one. Yeah. Same story as the other time. You're moving in the direction of the rain.
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah, it would have been better to kill that chum and move left. Or maybe you could even slip past the chum if you shoot slightly farther ahead. Yep, I was just about to say that would be a good way. Oh, you missed. Let's see. You barely almost got it though. It's just... yeah. If you hit that as your first frame, you hit it and you killed it, then you would have had time to kill the last one. If you aimed correctly on that one, you could have killed it. And you could have killed this one too. There's enough time to kill 3 fly fishes if you aim at all of them immediately. Same for stingers as well, 3 stingers. You can't afford, like... what would be the phrase? You can't afford too much downtime in between aiming and hitting with Ray. By the way, I think we were VCing this because you wouldn't normally flick toward a low tide fly fish that you can't see. So I must have called it out. Like, oh, there's a low tide fly fish, and then you flicked your way to it. Actually, do I have something to say about this wall? That was just awkward.
Yeah, I just got punched off.
I think there was a little thing you could have done here. So, in this instance, I think you had your left stick straight up, but with the knockback from the chums, they hit you to the left off of the wall. Oh, actually they didn't hit you. What happened here? Maybe you moved your stick to the left too much. We'll just skip that for now. That was kind of weird. Oof. You have one way left. I'd consider using it soon. Ah, you squid it too early there. I see what you tried to do there. You tried to paint the top of the wall and shoot the Gohawk at the same time, but the game physics just said no. You only shoot the Gohawk. If it wasn't for that one squid mistake on the grate, then maybe the ray could have helped them out immensely.
Yeah. I don't know why I even squid it in the first place.
I think it was just right before swimming in your own ink. You wanted to swim to basket, but you squirted too early on the grate. Oh yeah, something I'd avoid is like swimming early after walking on a grate when there's people in front of you. Because they might block you from making it past the grate and squidding into your own ink on the land. So make sure you're on land first when you're right behind somebody before swimming. I've seen and had situations where we were walking in a group and then the last person couldn't make it up. They actually fell down the grate because they squidded but were blocked by someone else.
Ah, yeah. I think there's a clip of Hawken dying, or I died. Oh, one of us died because on yard we jumped at the same time to the lift.
Yeah.
One of us was in front, and the other one went into the water.
The last person tends to die in that scenario. Oop. By the way, if you're unsure which container, which fly fish launcher the person in front of you is going to bomb, then you can wait for them to throw a bomb. That's only if you have enough time to wait. If the fly fish is about to close, you should just try and take a gamble.
Yeah.
That was okay. Nothing to say there. Played well. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier about like taking an egg from an egg pile when there's other eggs to get, because now you kind of feel obligated to finish these eggs or else they'll get snatched, right? And that eats up a lot of time. Yep, good Bombers. I was just about to say it. Also, in that scenario, even if it was only the fly fish that was there, I would still use Bombers, because it's also wave 2. It doesn't hurt to use a Bombers on wave 2 at the end. What I've been doing lately is using a special on wave 2 and then the last special on wave 3. Because in the past I've just never had... actually, let me finish what I was saying. In the past, I've had both specials on wave 3, but I only end up using one of them at most because everyone else had their one special and they used it, and I ended up not being able to need my second special because everyone else also had their special, at least one of their specials.
Yeah, I try to do that, but there's some maps that are it's difficult, and I end up just not using a special at all. Like Polaris. Polaris is probably the biggest offender for me.
Polaris, which tide?
Normal tide.
Normal tide.
Like I just don't end up using specials. I end up having both of them by the end of the game.
On normal tide, you don't really want to go down because you deal with stuff, right? With jet or bombers. Jet or bombers at most, you have to go down the second level to reach the fly fishes and stingers. Unless it's low tide, in which case you can reach them from top.
Yeah.
The way on wave 2 on Polaris is pretty good, I'd say. But if there's not much stuff to handle, then I'd say it's not worth it. Okay, here there's, I think, like everyone could have done something. There's 2 eggs there. Wait. Oh, never mind, never mind. I missaw. So they got the 2 eggs anyway. That was fine. But in the event that they don't get the 2 eggs, then everyone should just keep firing because the ray is also firing in that direction. Just add on the damage to kill stuff quickly and get the eggs. No one said anything on stream so far. Oh. Charger is okay on low tide mothership. It's not a G charger by any means, but it's better than bamboo, I'd say, because it has a higher maximum range.
Oh, I should have gotten closer and aimed at the ship entrance.
Or we talked about using bombers right before the ship arrives, right? But maybe it's better to
Yeah.
do it right after. Because the lessers from the coolers that weren't gotten are accumulating, and everyone is focused on shooting the ship, right?
Yeah.
So maybe afterwards would be better.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If we're going hard on a mothership, like if the score looks good, and if it looks like it'll be good, then use bomb rush each time after the mothership is repelled, so that you have a way of dealing with the lessers that have accumulated while you're shooting the mothership.
Mm.
After this shift, let's look at Lost Outpost clips. Not clips, but footage. Because I feel like watching too much grounds is gonna make us get better at grounds, but we're not playing grounds. There's only so much general knowledge that can be gotten from watching another stage. Okay, you know something that I notice that players could be doing better? Is that
What?
they always tag a scrapper, even though they're the closest to it. They don't need to tag it. Tagging it means the scrapper pauses for a few seconds, but they're the closest to it, so they don't need to tag it. Right here, you're definitely the closest. You don't need to tag it. You could have just brought it to basket without it stopping.
Probably tired because of the charger.
No, the charger was farther away. Oof, yeah. Okay, that's something obscure that you would need to know if you want to avoid that. So normally on flat ground, the Mars will stop painting once it reaches you, and you still have ink beneath you that's in your color. But after a Mars climbs or descends on a ledge, like here, the Mars just climbed the ledge. You can see that it did paint your feet. Normally, that wouldn't happen. They don't paint your feet normally. But after they climb ledges, they have a certain amount of time that they would need to travel before they start attacking a player. And during that time of travel, they always paint below them. So if you were here, for example, the Mars would not paint your feet. That paint would end around here. But because you are here, the Mars had to stay in place while in travel mode, and it painted your feet. That's something to keep in mind when a Mars is climbing an edge. That it'll keep painting for a certain amount of time. That'll help you avoid Mars on platforms and such. That was a good wall. Oh! That sucked. Was this something you could do? Oh, that's like, your special is blocking the stinger right there, you see that? That's too bad. You would have survived if it was just one stinger.
Wow.
You tried to heal, but you didn't think the stinger was on you. Should have gone for the father egg, actually.
In the wall is asking, so Mars paint is on a timer?
How do I describe it? After a Mars climbs a wall or descends from a wall, it needs a few seconds before it can start attacking a player. And during that time, it'll still be painting below it. This would be a good special bomb rusher jet. But it didn't end up being used, and one flyfish is still alive, and there's a bunch of lessers. Good, you saw 2 people there for 2 eggs, so you went for the other one.
I don't know what I was doing with that movement.
There's an eel to your left. It died, I think. Or did I see incorrectly? Oop, you jumped right into that. Okay, decent way. You just died, so you know the eel isn't on you.
Guess I could have gone for that ramp egg.
Yeah, this one is kind of more tricky to tell what you should do. Like, if you were in this perspective. Like, if you were... Okay, there's 2 choices here that are kind of tricky to make. What should you do? They end up going for this, but I just happen to have Sploosh up here, and I could kill the Drizzler easily. And also, it's kind of tricky to kill all the lessers with Charger, because they're not exactly in a line. Like, right here, they're not aligned correctly for Charger to do much.
Mm-hmm.
Though, I'd argue, like, maybe it could be better to recover a little bit of ink and throw a bomb over there toward the eggs. And then maybe start going for those eggs. Going for that last egg as well. Because you'd have the bomb as backup support that you threw. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
That was one of the trickier situations though. 2 harder choices to choose from. Like, if the Drizzler didn't die fast enough, then that's 1 egg lost from the Drizzler that couldn't be gotten. But also, if you don't go for the ramp eggs, then you're not gonna get the ramp eggs either. So that was tricky. You would need a lot more information to know what to do there. Like, the fact that the Drizzler was already heavily damaged and Sploosh was at basket dealing with it, if you knew that, then I'm sure you would have gone for the ramp eggs. But you didn't know that. You lacked the information. I don't know if I called it out. I can't remember. But in VC, it could be good to call out, like, I've got the Drizzler handled, you guys go for the ramp eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you handled the Snatcher that time, that was good. But It could have been handled earlier as you were passing by it. So basically what you're doing when you call out like that is you're marking off targets for the other players, so that there's less tricky options for them to choose from. The less options your team needs to choose from, then the easier it's easier for them to make decisions quickly. Oh wait, wasn't I say I was gonna look at Lost Outpost?
Yes.
That's a good rotation. Is this too good to look at? I want like an average one. Splat Roller is pretty good. It boosts that one. Ooh. Let's look at this one. This one is pretty equal, I'd say, in terms of like averageness.
Let's see, May 15.
That drizzler can be lured. Nice. Now you go for the firefish. Nice. The basket player can get those drizzler eggs while you do this. Look out for the next spawns. What is it? Okay, steelhead. Can lure it. Yeah, any of these other weapons is better than Class Blaster at dealing with that steelhead coming to basket on the left. So next target, those two stingers. Though someone should stay at basket to deal with the eel coming. Pretty clever.
Yeah, I cannot fight a cohort against Clash Blasters.
Yeah, that would be pretty slow.
Well, we kept getting the statics.
I feel like...
I think
This-
a jet would have been good there. Because a fly fish there means that there's a fly fish on the left side as well.
Yeah, but is it worth dealing with them right now? Yeah.
Well, it depends if people are going for fire eggs
Yeah.
or if there are stuff coming to basket at the moment as well.
There wasn't that many lurables coming, so there wasn't that many basket eggs to collect. But would a jet be overkill though? Like, there's already some fire eggs to get. And it's already toward the end of the wave. Going for the fire egg was good, I think. Because there wasn't that many basket eggs available. Wasn't that many. You weren't stopping any lurables either, which was good. Jet is kind of overkill, I'd say. Like, you'd kill the fly fishes and such, but I don't think you would have gotten all of their eggs. Maybe one egg at most. Is that worth it for a whole inkjet? On wave 1? Oh, what? What is that hitbox? That's disgusting.
Yeah. Eels are
Careful.
pretty thick.
Oh,
They are not, they are just the
Do you want to
hitbox.
say that on the internet, or?
I already did.
Oh, I do. I would have shot the snatcher. Because you don't see, like, another person coming out. I think it got snatched now. Unless there was someone who went like at the very last second of the snatcher taking the egg. I think what you tried to do is use your inkjet exhaust to kill the snatcher, but it would have been better to use the blast. Because inkjet exhaust does take more time to kill the snatcher. Nice, weakening the drizzler. Yep, get behind to lure it. Nice. You waited for the drizzler to be in range of the steelhead explosion, and you waited. Oh, it's wave 3. Keep an eye out for when to use jet. Right now it's fine though, because you're charger and you can handle those. There's a jet, yeah. Good timing. I'd consider killing the white drizzler instead, but it was fine, it worked out. I would have gone for the closer egg. There's no time for that outside egg. Gotta improve. What would you call it? Egg one timing?
Yeah, I would say that.
Priority?
No, that's
Kind of priority.
slightly different. It sounds slightly different from what I want to say.
Yeah, maybe last final 5 seconds, just focus on the closest.
You gotta know what eggs are possible in the last few seconds. Or else you end up going for an impossible egg. When there was a closer egg to get. Yeah, luring the middle drizzler to the right is better, because it goes right over basket, and the eggs get way closer than if it went to the middle. So here, I'd keep my distance and try to bomb from like the longest angle possible, but the steelhead did get triggered anyway. That just can't be helped in this situation, because you wanna get the fly fish bomb off. I think that was a good lure. Killing the
Yeah, I
steelhead
think-
there is certainly better than the grates, and it's about the same distance.
Yeah, we already had plenty of eggs at Greats.
Yeah,
to
that's
run.
good thinking. Moving the eggs elsewhere. And the grates is a very busy spot. There's a lot of stuff coming from there, often. So moving the egg to a less busy spot can be better. There's less of a chance of it getting blocked at the end. Ah, that's a shame. Here, like, I think it was fine for you to go, but not Brian. Because Pine could have helped up at basket, and there's quite a few eggs there, and there was still lurables coming. So that would be even more eggs and more stuff to manage. I would say that was uneven distribution of manpower. Gotta handle the splits better. Oop. There was someone to your left, so you should have aimed for the right.
Yeah.
That's a white side koi fish. You can tell by the indicators on your feet. Should have gone for the right side, because that person on the left could be watching that egg instead. Child. Yep. Yeah, when the roller shows like that empty animation, that empty state, then you should know that you can't flick fully doing that. Should just wait until it's fully covered in ink. Like here, I'd argue would be a good wave. And it's wave 2 as well. I think, like, someone went to the right, so you should, like, check the right. Yeah, you can see they got an egg there, but I don't think you know how many eggs are there. Still 10 seconds. Those eggs at the back are pretty close by. There was a person here. Hina could have gone for those eggs as well, because they had time to. I mean, those eggs, I mean the back right eggs inside. And that person who just got an egg on the right is also returning. They could have gotten the back right eggs as well. So you had time to go check the right side eggs. See, there was still an egg there. You could have gotten that one. But instead, the other people who returned decided to go for those eggs, but they were too late. But you had time to. Because you returned before they did. Interesting. Yeah, charger on the left. On Mothership, we're gonna need to make sure we distribute the range evenly. We don't want two short weapons on the left side that can't reach. By now, I'd say someone should be coming on the left side to watch the eggs. I mean, to come help with the eggs. Remember, you have one more splashdown you can use whenever. Oh.
I thought I should use it there.
I think, like, I think it worked out in the end. I think your team realized that there wasn't a splashdown happening early, so they damaged the mothership more. Because in the higher level lobbies, I noticed they use splashdown immediately instead of toward the end of the rappel. Because in higher level lobbies, they're able to tell when to stop shooting and when to start shooting when the mothership is about to get repelled. Like when the ray is about to end. Good, you're shooting behind the griller. You're gonna be able to shoot behind the griller with Rapid Blaster as well, from the front, if you can't shoot the tail immediately. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, by the way, you can do that as well, if you want to. Oh, that was slightly too early. So what you can do is you go slightly outside here, or even further depending on the spawn, and you splash down over the griller. Because the disadvantage about splashdowning inside here, this is the closest to the wall you can be, right?
Yeah.
But that means the griller is already fully inside. But if you splash down out here, the griller gets stunned earlier, and your team can start damaging it sooner, and the griller gets killed earlier. So that's also an option. And also the better option in some cases. There, I think the splashdown was unnecessary because there's already so little time and there were more eggs to get. And even if the griller was stunned, they're kinda outside. Like, those eggs are pretty far. The rest of the eggs aren't making it in the basket. So I'd rather the splashdown be used when the griller is already in the house, when there's only a few seconds left. Oof. That was a fake out.
Oh, what's even right?
Ugh. You didn't really need to shoot that torpedo, by the way. It was going toward the water, no one's going there. If it's toward my basket, then yeah, you should shoot it. That left egg can be optimized. Oh, you're in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
I
I
tried
should go to the back.
Try to avoid jumping into crowds like that. So you didn't end up optimizing the egg because there was other stuff going on, which I think is fine. But just keep it as an option, just in case you can do it. Having options on hand at all times is good. So that if things go well, and you do have time to do the optimization, you can do it. But if things go bad, then you know that, oh, you don't need to do it. But it's still an option. In case for some reason things go super well, despite bad luck. Sometimes in Salmon Run, I've come to realize that it isn't always better to have a predominant big option or one predominant strategy, but to have many options so that you're prepared for any moment. I'd go for the 4x, yeah. That could be a prime still hit lure. Jet lure, I mean. Good way. Allows the steel hits to be lured. And I was gonna say earlier that maybe you can use the jet to get the 4 egg and go back quickly because there's not much time left, but you actually could have done that. Was it here? Yeah, it was here. Like,
I need to go right now, but I'll watch the rest of the boat later or tomorrow.
okay, Sess.
Yeah, sounds good.
So thank you for the review. Sorry I didn't provide with any clips.
No, it's
Not have to
fine.
worry about that.
If I had planned the VOD review portion earlier, then maybe there would have been time to play some games and get clips. But we didn't.
Yeah.
So see us,
Well,
Sess.
I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
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 So here, like, there's about 40 seconds left, and I think at this point you would know, like, there's still a ray left, because you didn't see them in the previous waves. So you could be like, oh, if there are last second bosses, then the ray can handle them. And my jet can be used for something else, like maybe luring steel hits. So you can use a jet here to get this second fire egg. And then, like, alternatively, you could have also used jet to shoot that fly fish as well, and then get in the water and you come back the basket faster. That's just like... In the end, it didn't matter what you did, you still would have only gotten that one egg, and the fly fish would have been crippled either way. But... in the event that you could have gone for that last egg, you'd be able to faster. Because you returned the basket faster. So that's what I'm talking about with options. Using jet would have given you the option to go back for that egg if you could go back for it.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that, like on high tide ship on yard. Then I get confused. I even confuse myself. Like, is this actually helpful? Because I guess in those scenarios, I jet on the other island, get an egg, take it back to basket, damage the ship maybe, then go in the water, and then I'm back and I can get another egg and head back to basket. Yeah, I can.
Ship as in bay?
Yard.
Oh, yard. On mothership?
Yeah, high tide ship, for example. I have done jet on like the other island.
Oh, jetting from basket to the other island?
No, from the other island to basket, and then once the jet's done, I'm back at the other island.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Hmm.
You might have time to get 2 eggs in jet though.
I'll give that a shot next time if the opportunity arises.
Because if you start from the other island, then you already have an egg, I assume. And you go back to basket. And you still have like a few more seconds left of jet. So you can go back for 1 more egg. And then go back to basket with like 1 second left maybe. It'll be very tight. The left one is jumping. You know what, we should test that in Seoul for a golden yard.
Yeah, that can be on the to-do list.
Go for the farther egg, the middle. Ah, that was close. But I think there is something to say here. Like, this Moz is gonna get killed with, like, the eggs. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's too bad. I was gonna say, if the Moz gets killed, then the eggs would be only available at a couple seconds left, so you would assume that the person at basket would be stuck getting those eggs. So you could have gone for the closer egg for a guaranteed egg, instead of risking it for that last farther egg. Like, if you know someone else is gonna get the closer egg, then you can get the farther one. You can risk the farther one. But if you don't, then you can get the closer one to guarantee an egg in the basket. Why is the scrapper going that way? Yeah. You didn't have time for that, that's why I was saying, if you jet it
Yeah, I had a
like
feeling.
closer to the grate, then yeah. That's a pretty far distance to go when the ground isn't inked. I'd argue that would have been a good way, but I forget if Rare was already used Wave 1. Oh no, there it is. That's kinda late. I would have wanted Wave to be used earlier when the scrappers were lined up. Here, it didn't matter which egg you got, in the end you would only get 1 egg. But leaving that closer egg there gives your teammates behind you that you don't know what they're doing an option. So what's important is also giving others options. Like, if you know you can only get one of the eggs, try to get the farther egg, so that the people behind you have the option to get the closer egg. If it works out, you get 2 eggs instead of just 1 egg.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that middle fly fish can be difficult to hit by cannon.
Yeah.
So I'd advise bombing the left launcher when it's at the desired spot. Like, if you're not gonna stall any bosses, that is, by doing it, then just bomb the left launcher anyway. Get the eggs closer to the grate, because that's where the lessers are coming from. Ah. Normally you wanna get the eggs that are closer to the lessers coming, so that they don't end up blocking them. Because you already got the eggs, they're not gonna block anything. But if they do end up blocking them, then I'd want Dynamo to roll down the line of lessers. Oh, you didn't go for any eggs. There's still 3 5-fish eggs on the left, I'd say. Oh, I think you missed the snatcher.
Yeah. Side jump away.
Stinger left, I saw it through the window. You can lure that drizzler. You can optimize that last egg while you lure the scrapper in. Well, with that...
It looked like I would.
Now, getting a steel hit is fine. It gets you more eggs. I tend to like weapons with better DPS at middle, because that's where lessers tend to gather and pile up.
Mhm.
Oh, that was clever, but the game also denied you there. Whenever
Why
you
the
try to
game-
use Waldo like Slosher. You should avoid doing that as well, looking at where you're going. Because you can't see stuff like that happening. You can't see, like, the coolers and stuff that are coming.
Mhm.
Should be looking up in the air whenever possible. Someone should have stopped that scrapper right after the steelhead. They've killed both the scrapper and the steelhead at the same time.
If the explosion works.
Yeah, it only gets desynced if both players kill a steelhead at the same time. But if you're a charger, you can like shoot immediately when the steelhead attacks and you always get the explosion.
Mhm.
Like that, that's a good thing. That was a good shot. A shot like that is more prone to getting the bomb desynced though, when other people shoot the steelhead. So that was a good optimization. You should have gone to the right, because there were two steelheads. You could faintly hear that there were two steelheads triggering at different times. But with VC, it should have been even clearer. But I know this team doesn't VC.
Mhm.
Well, not at this point anyway. Also, one thing that's good to know is that the maximum bosses is 3, right? So
Yeah.
if there are two steelheads in one direction, then any other direction can only have one steelhead. So even if you're triggering that one single steelhead from another direction, then it's still better to lure the two steelheads in most cases. Because that's more eggs
Mhm.
closer, right?
Yeah.
So when you're having to choose, like, oh, do I go to this side with two steelheads or this side with one steelhead? Always choose the side with one steelhead, unless there's something else happening.
Mhm.
By the way, distracting the steelhead while people get the fire eggs is most effective on the first attack. On the time that I commented for you to not do it was on the second attack. So doing it on the first attack is better, because at that point, your teammates are still having to come and get the 4 eggs, but when you did it, they already were getting the 4 eggs, if that makes sense. So you ended up being later than them by a significant amount.
I see.
Also, it would have been better to bomb the fly fish because you could kill the scrapper anytime afterward. The fly fish you can't do that with. This is kinda tricky because there's now a fly fish at middle, a crippled fly fish on the left, and the stinger to handle at the same exact time.
No fly fish.
It's important to have the team united in decision making on what boss to get. Because if there are 3 players who decide to go for each separate thing, then... oh, you should have gone for that one. Then that's less, like, manpower at each thing, and you're all separated. I'd say it's better to get 3 eggs from one thing than a single egg from 3 things. You know what I mean? When everyone is together, there's less of a chance of someone dying, as long as you're watching each other's back.
Yeah.
And you handle things quicker together. But there are also some cases where it's better to split up.
It's hard to teach that though, about like when to, well, how to say it. Like some of the lobbies I join, they can tend to be more like individualistic, not much of a team sense.
Well, the thing is about being too, like, alone is that if everyone is in different places at the same time, there's a higher chance that one person is gonna de-lure something or stall something, especially steelheads and drizzlers. Going together is the same as being one player, but with more power. Oh, you wanna be careful, you're gonna be targeted again. Maybe... oh wait, you only have one way. Never mind. Wait, did we finish the conversation about it would be hard to teach?
I think so.
It's amazing how I can remember these small things about Salmon Run but then forget what I said 10 seconds ago. It's because I'm moving on to the next thing. And my brain immediately discards the previous thing so that I can fully focus on the next thing. Like, what did I even eat today? I forget.
Yeah, that can happen. Like, I don't remember what I ate for lunch.
All I know is right now we're eating salmon. Oh. Okay, right now... should be thinking, what could you use your ray on next? Should've waited. Or maybe retreated. Because the timer is getting low.
Yeah.
Oh, that splash one was just outside of the radius. So that stinger is pretty tasty. Yeah. That was a good way.
Yeah, and those are hard. It's hard to tell like when you kill it.
Yeah, there's only like the obscure final 3 power eggs that drop. But there's also... Actually, never mind. I was gonna say you could use the armor sound when you hit something that you can't actually kill. But if you shoot it from the top like that, then you're also hearing the stinger armor sound. The stinger head. If you shoot at the... Actually, no, maybe that just doesn't work at all. Either by feeling, or the 3 power eggs that come from the stinger head dropping on the boiler. Also, I have something to say at the end here. Should you have shot this drizzler? No. Look at the amount of eggs at basket, that was a waste of time. In the time you shot the drizzler, you could have collected 2 eggs. You're just adding too much work. With too little time.
Probably better for a different weapon with more DPS. Which this set didn't really have.
Nice, sniping the Cohawks with Charger. Because all the other weapons can handle Chum easily.
Alright, go hard to mute, so it's back to the beginning.
Okay, once again, my mute button is 0 on the keypad. I need to get that changed. Let's just skip to halfway. I don't know
Just a
what
bit
key to
more.
change it
So it's
to.
probably BRB.
The keypad 0 is nice, is a nice size to press for mute, in case I need to press it quickly.
And now you can change the mute combo for Discord. I thought that was set.
Oh. You know what, I can change it to the enter key. That doesn't do anything.
Makes it harder to send messages though.
Yeah, just don't be on Discord and have a message typed out before you finish it. By the way, I'm not commenting on every little thing, because this is not meant to be like a beginner's thing, a beginner's guide. This is just meant for R and others to get better. Oh, I think this is fine. Cause that flyfish over there on the top flyfish is harder to get the eggs from. And you can optimize the back flyfish anyway. This is a good base so far. Still hit on the left, should stay on the right. Getting the 1 egg wasn't that bad, though. I think Charger should have killed the steelhead then and there. I feel like getting that 1 egg kinda lost you a couple of eggs because the steelhead didn't make it closer.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
tossing a bomb to the snatcher would have been better. That would have come for the 1 egg.
Just a little time, would you think it was better to walk lane to get it in?
Let's take a look. No, you wouldn't have made it. You would have had to take the time to paint, and then reach the height of the wall ring, which isn't enough. What could have been done as a team though, not just individual.
Maybe call out and say this way on the right side.
The left, you mean? Oh, you meant for the steelhead lure, not the last egg.
Yeah. Still headless.
Yeah, that could have worked. Oh,
Yeah, that was dumb.
that was good. You waited for the Quahog to hit you, so that you can throw your bomb stably. If the Quahog were to hit you or you throw, then the trajectory would be way off. Good range shelter. Oof. Jumping on top of this carpet might not be the best idea.
Flashdown would have been pretty helpful.
It's wave 3, so I'd consider when to use jet next for a fire boss. Like, you have 2, so the next fire boss that's in your sight, you just leap. Well, unless it's from middle and you're at basket, that's kinda tricky. Like, I would have jetted for the middle fly fish because it would be attacking at its second cycle right now. And I would have gone for that white fly fish right now.
That's
Oh.
a terrible bet.
Wow, that was a big radius.
It was on a ramp, and the ramps are weird.
It's too late to do anything about that. Yeah, doesn't matter. Steelhead kill was fine though. It got you eggs. 1 egg.
I need to do better with my specials. Especially when I have leftover ones in wave 3.
Oh yeah, just remember, even though we're doing a lot of this discussion about what could be better and stuff, you can't expect yourself to be immediately better after hearing all of this and taking into consideration everything we've said.
Mm-hmm.
Typically what happens is that you're gonna suck badly until you get better.
Yeah. Trial and error until things start clicking.
Yep, try everything. Try everything, take what works, improve the meh parts, remove the bad parts, you get better. Has anyone said anything? Nope, doesn't look like it. By the way, when the eels tend to oversteer when they take turns, and this is important on outposts at the entrances. Because you can see here, like, it's blocking the right side because it came from the left of the entrance. So if you know that, you can then plan ahead your maneuvering and such. Just know that the eels oversteer on turns. Sometimes it saves you from being crushed in the entrances. Oh yeah, you can tell that was desync because they're not supposed to attack inside the entrance. So Charger will stay at basket. In this scenario, I'd want Brian to take it. Yep, he took it. Because he's already hitting back. Eel is yours. It would be better to lure it all the way to the back of basket. Not this back, I mean straight across basket.
Yeah, Rockefeller's grillers.
Because if you do that, you can then collect these eggs while the eel is coming this way. Right now you're kind of just stuck dealing with the eel on your own because it's coiling up. What is this slush? Haven't really seen washes. Well, really any night waves in these 2 sessions. Uh oh. Okay, nice pass down. Oh, don't stand in the way. Yep. I think it was fine because bomb rush was being used. The chum wouldn't be a problem, and you would just need to worry about damaging the goldie enough. Oh, you're targeted. Oh. Not enough protection from others, I'd say. We do have a Class Blaster and a Roller in the same comp. I think, like... At least most of the jumps should be taken care of by the time it reaches basket. But the Rust did swap directions like every single time. That's unideal.
Yeah.
Having to change positions every time the entire team is just not good. Spends a lot of time. We're gonna have to end the review soon as well. It's
Yeah,
getting to that
sounds good.
time.
You want to end after this one or one more game?
After this one, actually.
Alright.
Oh, by the way, I was thinking about staking strats. I think we should maybe avoid opening middle unless the other two directions are already low.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's in one of the other directions, then middle is open needlessly. Middle is always a bad goalie anyway.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, then spending the time on the bad side is just spending time poorly, I'd say. When the time could be spent on the good stuff.
Yeah.
Like
So
collecting eggs.
if you get seeking, so should we go to the designated locations based off our response? So, say the left person, the person that spawns on the left, they have to be on the left to open those gushers. Person that spawns on the right.
I'd say that's the easiest way to do it, yes.
And shouldn't be dependent on like weapon rules.
No, because at the start we should be looking out at each direction anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a short range weapon, we can still throw a bomb at the farther gusher.
Yeah.
Okay, and also on high tide seeking. I was thinking, like, on other teams, they actually do something different from us. They open the left side first to see if it's high or lower, and then the right side. So what we've been doing is opening both at the same time, especially at the start,
Mm-hmm.
when it would be better to open just one side to confirm our next move. Because having both sides open can cause some chaos when we don't need it.
So if C is high, we open B next, and if B is also high, then we know it's E.
On the first seek, it's never in E, by the way, on wave 1, because of the seeking bug. So it's always on either side on the first seek on wave 1.
Mm-hmm.
On Outpost, the second seek on wave 1 can never be the same as the first. So statistically speaking, if the goalie was found on this side on the first seek, we then try to open this side next, because there's a higher chance of it being in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the third seek is just normal.
Yeah, I see.
Let's try, like, if the eggs are bunched up here, on the third seek and onwards, or if it's not wave 1, let's try to open H first. Because if it is on this side, then everyone is here collecting the eggs and they can focus on damaging the goalie. If it's here, then everyone would have to move this side and no one is watching the eggs. How does that sound?
Yeah, I'd be down to try that.
And I think the
course.
same can be done on normal tide.
Yeah,
Unless
of
it's
course
from
the
middle.
Dynamo would have to be aware, take out lessers, and be ready for the goldie if it
Yeah.
comes from the opposite direction.
Okay, I think that'll do it for now. If there's anything extra, I'll post it in our group chat.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for the tips and the review.
Thanks for providing the VODs to look at. Well, you already provided it before I asked, but same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And also
Alright,
to the
well,
stream, thanks for watching. I hope and maybe some of this was slightly helpful. Okay, I'll see y'all later.
alright, bye.